So, I just watched Ice Age for the first time in probably a decade, and seriously, what the f*** is this movie? Hi, I'm Zach, and welcome to Not Great, Not Terrible, the show where we review mediocre movies from the not-so-distant past. Today's subject is the film Ice Age, a computer-animated comedy film which came out in 2002. I say comedy, but there's not really much funny about this thing outside of some frankly absurdist humor, but I'll get into that later. So the movie starts out with Scrat, the comic relief saber-toothed squirrel. He loves his acorn, and I mean really loves it. Get used to that gag, it's not going anywhere for the next 4 films in the series. We get some gags about Ice Age things. Ha ha, these kids are stuck in a tar pit. Then we start to meet our main characters. We're first introduced to Sid, the incompetent sloth. He has no character traits besides a lisp and a lack of brain cells. We then meet Manny, a woolly mammoth who's tired of everyone's shit, especially Sid's. And finally, we meet Diego, a saber-toothed tiger who hasn't yet decapitated himself with a sneeze. That's probably how they went extinct, if we're being honest. Manny and Sid do some uninteresting, vaguely plot-related things, and then the tigers decide to attack some humans. And that finally leads us into the actual biggest part of the story. So apparently, this mom basically committed suicide by jumping off a waterfall. She dies, the baby doesn't, and oops, now our 3 main animal characters are stuck with a human child to return to its family. Makes sense? Yeah, no, I didn't really think so either. So for the rest of the film, it's just very shenanigans between these 3 and their small human. So as they're on their quest to get rid of this child, we get to the biggest issue with this film. This movie really doesn't know if it wants to be a comedy or just a parody of itself. You get insane things like this dodo scene, which ends with a sloth performing a touchdown dance with a watermelon. I can't believe that is a sentence I had to write. You also get a diaper joke that overstays its welcome by a solid minute. Ha ha, poop jokes are funny! When you are presented with scenes like these, it's frankly impossible to take the movie seriously. Yes, our strange 3 do eventually get the small human back to the larger humans. I'm sure there's some plot that happened in between the poop joke and the ending, but if there was, I'm struggling to remember what it was. There's some generic friend bonding, a totally unexpected betrayal by who else but the deadly carnivorous cat, and the movie ends with another f***ing scene with Scrat, the time filler. This movie is 75 minutes long before credits, and that's with the excessive fluff. It's legitimately shorter than some episodes of Game of Thrones, and yet somehow this counts as a movie. And besides the really quite weird story, there's also something funky going on with the visuals. If I'm honest, this really feels like a mid-2010s children's animated TV show rather than a Hollywood movie from 2002. The camera is kept stationary far too often, there's middling character animation, and the movie really doesn't feel polished as a whole. Honestly, the graphics in this film just look like a mediocre Xbox 360 game with more anti-aliasing. It's just eh. I've seen 20-minute episodes of Dragon's Race to the Edge on Netflix that have had better production value and honestly have had better story. Digging into it, Ice Age had a $59 million budget, which is admittedly fairly low for an animated film, but that's not an excuse. Shrek was made with a similar budget and came out a year earlier, and both looks better and has a significantly better story than Ice Age. Both movies tried to be satirical in their own ways, and while Shrek will go down in history as not only a meme but one of the best movie satires ever made, Ice Age will, pun fully intended, be lost to time. So yeah, Ice Age. Somehow this movie spawned 4 sequels. This is actually one time where a sequel is better than the original. Same night I rewatched this film, I also rewatched Ice Age 2, and shockingly, I actually enjoyed Ice Age 2, which is definitely not something I can say about the original. Ice Age is thoroughly mediocre, and honestly, it leans more towards terrible. Do I recommend you watch it? Probably not. Do yourself a favor. Spend those 75 minutes of your life watching a good film instead. Maybe just watch the sequel. Anyways, I've been Zach. This has been Not Great, Not Terrible. I'll see you all in the not-so-distant future for another mediocre movie review. The movie's the thing that's mediocre, not the review. Hopefully. Thank you for watching. Welcome to Not Great, Not Terrible, the show where we review... that's hard to say. Well, I say comedy, a saber-toothed tiger who... Fuck! Then we meet our main... Fuck! Ice Age things. Then we... fucking shit! Finally, we meet Diego, a saber-toothed tiger... Fucking hell, how hard is that sentence?